Well, let's start at that Arsenal game because I was at the game and it was a massive, massive shock. A quite poor performance by Arsenal, I have to say. I was still trying to work out why. And the only conclusion I could come to, like yesterday, is that maybe looks to me like they took Wolves for granted. They probably saw them play United on Monday, seen that they've only, had 2 points this season, and that it was going to be a walkover. But it was far from that. And I remember, Mark, before the game, I was in the studio and we do this show on AFTV called the Starting 11 Show. And people can comment on the lineups and stuff like that. And somebody wrote in, when we was doing our predictions, right? And mine was 3-0. There were other guys in the studios, 5s and 6s, which is always dangerous to do with these type of games. When you think it's going to be that, it never works out to be that. But there was a guy who commented and warned us and said, remember, a couple of weeks ago, they played against Aston Villa at Villa Park, and that was only 1-0. And it was a late screamer from, I think it was Kamara at Villa, that got them the win. So when I was walking to the game, that was in my head. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. And they turned up. They put in a really good performance, a very good defensive performance. We struggled to break them down. In the end, 2 own goals to get Arsenal to win it. Should Arsenal fans and should Arsenal be concerned about that performance? Or is this what champions do, that you have a bad day at the office, but you still get over the line? How do you view it?
First and foremost, I think it's, you've got to win those games. And I saw a few United fans online going, oh, beating Wolves ain't for everybody. But, when we played Wolves, I suppose it's a bad thing for Arsenal because that's the worst team I've seen. We mentioned it on Friday that they were absolutely dreadful, but they played open against us. They didn't respect us. They played open. And if they played like that against you, you'd have won by 10, easy. So what they did against you is what they should have done against us. They should have parked the bus against us. So it's a very different game. Having said that, you don't want to be winning games like that at this point of the season. And, we'll talk about Man City in a moment, but how good Man City are at the moment, I think Arsenal fans want to be winning games a little bit better. So I do take on board the concern, but I don't really think the concern would be that big if you were 9 points clear. I think it's because Man City are hot on your tails. You should have won better than that. But ultimately, I think I'd take the result and move on. But yeah, you've got to admit there's got to be some red flags about that because it wasn't, it could have easily gone wrong. And we've seen that happen before. So I understand Arsenal fans getting a little bit tetchy about it.
Yeah, I mean, the only positive as an Arsenal fan I could take from it is the fact that I've seen games like this before over the years for Arsenal, but they've drawn them. This one, they did actually go on and win the game. They did actually go for it after that and got the win. But like you said, it's not ideal to be doing that week in, week out, particularly, like you said, when Manchester City are really on form at the moment. That was a very impressive win against Crystal Palace. Really difficult place to go to this season. Although we did both flag this up, I think, on your show on Friday, that anytime Palace play after playing European games during the week, they're absolutely crap on the weekend, as they showed when they played against Man United. I think we all predicted that City would probably win this.
Yeah, it was. We did, yeah, and we got away with it as well. It's like they're a really good team, but when they play on a Thursday night, even if they make changes, you've still got to travel. It's all right saying, Wharton only played half a game. He's still gone to Ireland. He's still prepared for a Thursday game. There's a big difference having a light session on a Friday and Saturday, or playing a match on a Thursday. And this is something that I think in the latter part of the season is going to hurt teams like Palace and Villa and Forest, but it will hurt Palace at the moment because they've not really got the squad and not really used to it. So look, that's the way the league goes. I'm sure Arsenal are going to play Palace when they've had a full week off and you've played midweek. It's just the way it goes. But Man City, very good at the moment. And I'd like to have seen a proper Palace team have a go at them. But then again, Man City at the moment, they're just going through a really confident period. And I think that they are a daunting task. I don't think it's the end of the world for Arsenal, but I think Man City have proved that they're going to be title contenders this year, and it's going to be an interesting race. And Palace are having a great season, but yeah, I think Man City were always, we both said, hot favourites for that.
Yeah. So I just run through mine.
Yeah. I'm just waiting to see how many Arsenal players you try and get in this week.
Spoiler alert: there is no Arsenal players in that 11.
I should go away every weekend. This is it.
No,
I will sit back and we'll listen to this then with real integrity.
Yeah, no Arsenal player deserves to get any win. But maybe Saka. I thought Saka played well. He was the only one, but everybody else do not deserve to get anywhere near a team of the week this weekend. Right back, I've gone for Gusto at Chelsea. Left back, O'Reilly at City. Ballard at Sunderland as a centre back. I thought he was solid in the game. And Murillo at Nottingham Forest. I've gone for a midfield of very attacking midfield. Harry Wilson of Fulham, goals and assists. He was brilliant in that game. I watched that game. Cole Palmer